How you doing, Miss Carmen? A little late for me. Um, Hi, Amber. I think you were sneaking in there. I didn't see. I didn't see you come in. So I'm updating my phone so now you can just see my face right now. That's okay. I'm just hanging out for a little bit. Um, just looking at my listings. My husband told me after we put our son to bed, "Hey, do you have a show today?" Hi. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. I went to a show with Jen Jig, which was really good earlier today. Hi. Welcome in. I have, I'm not usually like on the camera too. Yeah, that was really cool that I was able to stop by in the show, and it was just very, very motivational and encouraging, and um, even just to hang out with all the people there, to hear their stories, and that was really neat. I really liked it. Um, but I'm just working on some of my listings here. I was thinking of moving some of my crochet items that I've been trying to sell for a little while and reduce the prices and do more of a lower price, um, just to clean up my inventory. And I had a show today, so I might as well just work on both of those. Let me see if I can get that up here without freezing my camera. Let's see. That one's fine. Let's see. And I do have, and I know in the past, like other shows, I had flash sales. So let me look again and see if I still have some flash sales showing. With It's difficult with crochet items, with handmade things in general, because they do take a lot of time to make. I had a lot when I started. I started whatnot like this might be my third year actually. So I started with craft supplies, and I have sewing patterns that I still have to go through. I have a lot of those. Um, and then I started selling my crochet items maybe about a year after that. So like in 2024, maybe. Um, and I had a bunch of inventory from the last 10 or 15 years that I started crocheting. So I made a lot of different things. Um, it doesn't, yeah. It takes a lot of work to make handmade items. So having a bunch of inventory is good and bad, because if you have the inventory that you make without like the request, like if nobody's interested in the random things that you make, then what I'm always trying to figure out what is um, maybe on a trend, or I've seen a lot more crochet bags. So I think this year I'm going to start making more crochet bags, but I have to make maybe smaller ones because they don't take as much time to make as bigger ones. So yeah, I mean it's a good mix. If you have a good mix of things, um, you can also sell it in multiple categories. For example, with the toys, blankets, beanies. If you have kids beanies, blankets can go in the baby category. So you can mix it in with other items that you have. Hi, Teresa. It's nice to see both of you, Miss Carmen and Teresa, together in the evening. My husband told me, "Hey, you got a show today. You got to make sure to." Oh, nice. Yeah. Um, it's like with things like that. I know that corner to corner. I haven't made one yet, but I know that it's quick to make. Um, Quicker per se. Yeah, it's quicker than a regular blanket, I think. I haven't tried it yet, so I think once I try it, I'll. You don't think it is so? Yeah. So if things The nice thing about Handmade, you can request custom items. Yeah. Uh, so like I make a certain type of beanie or something, and you say I can make it in any color. Um, if you like the style of this hat or a beanie or a blanket, I can make it in a color you prefer. And and that's the thing with custom. They take a little more time because it's a custom color, or even the size, the length of it. Um, I've seen some crochet shows, some of the sellers here. Some of them are a little bigger. They do like a partial payment. So they'll charge you a portion of the item that you want to purchase. Like if you're making a blanket for somebody, that's $50. Um, and you take like a portion of it, a fourth of the amount. Yeah, a deposit. So you can ensure that, okay, you want this to be made, so at least I have a little bit of money set aside, and you can send them like a thank you note or something with the label. Then you have to, print a new label, like a label for the full weight of the blanket when you're completed with it. So um, they haven't made a workaround with Handmade yet. I, I, I heard they were working with it, but um, we'll see, because I follow a lot of Handmade um, groups of people. So there's a Handmade community. Actually, since you said, I don't know your name, Forever Faithful, but I'm Sarah, by the way. You said you had some crochet items. If you make them consistently, hi Melody, um, there is a Handmade community. Yes, this is my friend Carmen. Bless God's favor. God's favor. You can follow her too. She makes handmade jewelry, and then also another friend of mine, Teresa. She also makes handmade jewelry. So it's cool how handmade is seen on Whatnot. It's just a variety of different styles of handmade items that we can work together and um, sell different styles. That's the main thing that I think about, like different styles of handmade items. There's a uh, Winter Wonderland handmade market that we're doing every Friday. We, as in the Handmade Collective, um, it's just not like a big group per se that you can sign up for. Um, but I can make a listing with or I can send you the thumbnail. So every Friday at any time you want to pick, day or night, we have a bunch of handmade people that make any types of thing. You can run your show for an hour or more, whatever you're comfortable with, or um, like whatever time you even have. Like if you only have 20 or 30 minutes, you jump on with that thumbnail at whatever time you want, and then after you can look and see who's also doing the same type of show, and then you can rate into them and kind of encourage them too, because handmade, we sometimes we get a few people, and I'm getting 4 to 5 people is a little more than normal. And my time, sometimes they get like 1 or 2 at the it's a balance there. So I'm very happy that you guys have stopped by. um, I will send you some information here. Let me make sure. I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to follow you first. Oh my, it said follow back, so I clicked on that. So let me send you a message first, so then I can remember to send you that. But it's on every Friday, so if anybody that is handmade wants to do this, and they're running it it was from December, and they're running it all the way to February, and I think it's to the end of February. So yeah, and the best thing to do as a new seller is to like go into people's shows, have a conversation, join raid trains, join uh, just different chats, seller chats that give you information. That's the best way to get connected. When I started, um, I was just a seller, so I was just jumping in different shows and buying things and learning. And maybe a year later, I decided to sell because I used to sell on Etsy, and then I stopped for a year, and I was like, this is changing. Like the selling platform on Etsy was changing. Um, there was a lot of sellers that were not handmade, and it was making me upset that things, people selling from China, those type of things, um, just like low quality handmade items. Um, yeah, and one of the things that we were talking about with in Jen Jig's show is when you're starting as a seller, just try a variety of things in your shows, like make listings, or you can make a basic listing. Just make sure that the weight is correct on it. So even if you have to, show your item, you weigh it. I always have this little kitchen scale that I got from the thrift store. Um, and it's the basic scale. You can weigh your item, make sure you mark your item the same or a little bit higher than the ounces that they might be, and so that it's labeled correctly, and make sure you have at least 100 listings or so, because if you have one, it's gone and then you have to do it again. Yeah, just a basic scale is all you need, and it's just easy to like have an idea of what your item would weigh, and then you can either fix it later. And if you're incorrect, we do have like 5 like freebies or something that we can use to adjust any weight of something. I know a lot of people have questions with that, like they have if their items are weighed correctly and they're not going to get in trouble. I only got one error in a mailing, so that was really cool. I know that's usually the main question that people have about selling, is that. Let me just type in something here. I'm going to send you the thumbnail and give you some more information after the show. So, because I have the picture in my phone and not on my computer. So, hi, welcome in. Thank you. There's been some people in and out, but I think I also listed this under community. That's another thing that you can do as a new seller. You can try to pick different categories, like I was telling you with crochet blankets or anything baby themed. If you have, baby clothes and crochet baby things, you can bundle it together and put it like a baby show. I think I was trying to do that one time because I have a lot of leftover baby items from when my son was a baby. I kept some of the things just to like have an idea to sell it. So like making a separate, like a little more niche show with specific items might be an easier thing for you to put together, or to find. I do a lot of thrift store purchasing and not like the big box pallets, like a lot of these sellers do. Those are big things, and that's a lot of work. I can just like grab little things and that I think are interesting, and then just kind of put it together in a show. So I'll do it like a craft seller show, which I think I have planned next week. And like the past year, I've been doing mostly just crochet, everything crochet. I was just kind of like feeling the vibe to see if this my crochet is interesting to some people, and it is. So I like trying to use that and working it together again with maybe, because I'm just jumbling around now. um, there's another seller, a reworker's passion. If you follow her, it's a reworker's passion, and that is she's also crochet person. I don't think right now I don't think I can crochet and talk at the same time because I also don't have like a new project in mind at the moment, so I'm just kind of sitting here. But a reworker's passion started before the handmade community or the handmade category started. They didn't have a handmade category. And so she started selling her crochet beanies, and she makes like jackets, and I think she made some bags too. In under the women's category, which is a very, heavy category. It's a lot of clothing and thrifting and pallet pulls, but she was a handmade person that kind of grew her um, selling from the women's category, and then when they made handmade, she kind of mixes into that too, because now she makes handmade soaps and creams and lotions and things, as well as crochet things, and she does seller chats too. So if you look, I'm going to type in her name if you're interested. I was just talking about, so if you follow her, she has a mix of variety of shows that she does, and you can see how she lists her things, because she does a crochet show, she does a soaps show, lotions, she does her seller chats. So you can do that. You can make like, I'm gonna do these one show on Mondays or this other show on Thursdays, and just keep it consistent. That's another thing, just to keep it consistent. With your schedule, you can always adjust it too. So, or you can just do a show with everything, but you have to be consistently showing everything. Like the estate sales group, the storage units group, they're just constantly showing things, and they're just opening boxes and showing you what they have, like some randomness. So it's going to be everything. So it's either you're going to do that extreme or be more specific with your shows and with your listings. A lot of work. But I think with this community, it's nice because you can, work on your thing and have a discussion with other people and see what they're doing and grab some information from each other. So yeah, I'm working on that too, because the whole year I was trying to do these type of either crochet and chat. We talk about crafting or we talk about whatnot, because there's always a few sellers that we just hang out once in a while in each other's shows. Like Amberlicious popped in, and she usually has a show maybe at 10 or so, 9:30, 10 o'clock, that I jump into her show after sometimes. So she's also crochet. So we got a mix of people, and it's fun to find somebody, like there's some vintage people that also crochet, so they sell their mixes of things. So they'll sell, mugs or little trinkets and things like that, plus their crochet items. So you can do a mix as long as you, keep everything connected. Yes, and that helps. I try my best. If somebody pops in my show, I'll jump into their show if I get a chance to. And the best thing to do is to have a conversation and just to sit and hang out with them for a while as they're trying to navigate what they want to do. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna keep looking at my listings here. I keep running flash sales, and I think these flash sales are still an hour. Yeah, that's okay. So these are some of my older items. Well, the crochet headband, I think I only have one of those, but it can be made quickly and in any color, and that was the thing that I worked on last year, is to figure out some items, a few different things that I can make in bulk, or a few different colors, and like these crochet keychain hearts in different colors, so people can see some options and say, this is, hi, thank you for the raid. Cedra's beaded stash, right? Satara's beaded stash. Hi. Thank you for coming in. We were just chatting about um, selling and stuff. We are working on, we are working, I'm a crochet uh, handmade, and I think for the past year, I've been working on more of my crochet items, and like working on my shows and trying to figure out what's working and what's not. And so just having a lot of conversations about that. Because we're always working and always improving on our shows. I'm going to put you as a moderator, blessed Miss Carmen. Just if you want to, if you're gonna stay for a little bit. So I have crochet items. I have craft books. I have crocheted it. I even have some knitting hooks, or needles and hooks. Just a variety of things. But we're just discussing. We have a couple of new sellers, and I was just talking about how, like, what I'm working on for this year. There's like always a lot of little things that I work on, or what I think about, and what's working and what's not. Like setting up shows in different times. You can do it once a week. I kind of start setting up my shows once a week. I do some raid trains, so I'll put those shows in, and I'll adjust them as I go. Someone told me today in my show, no one is coming into my show because I'm not showing or running things. It is, yeah. It's hard to show things, especially when, like, I want to talk sometimes, or I want to, like, work on items too. So I'm always working on that as well. Yeah. So, like, for example, with the flash sales, I think at first when I started using the flash sales under the buy now, because like your listings have to be on buy now to set up the flash sale section, and then you have to reduce the price. So initially I thought that it was not working great for me. I'm not going to use the flash sales, but maybe for the past couple of months I started using them, just to reduce prices on some of the things that I have, or just to give, show people, hey, this is what I'm offering to you as a discount. So it gives them like the excitement of, like, oh, I'm looking in your bin and I find something that I'm interested in, and it's a reduced price. Because I always offer people, if anyone's interested in something and they want to place an offer, or they want to request something a different, a lower price, or they wanted to bundle something together, you're always free to talk about that. So yes, if swipe if you like. And I have a few things that that can teach you how to crochet. And I always offer, if anybody has any questions about how to crochet, or they're learning how to do it, or they're looking for a specific pattern, yeah, I'm more than happy to help out with finding a pattern, because I use a lot of free patterns. I haven't made anything new myself in a little while. There was a couple of things that I made, which was fun. It was, and I don't have them anymore. I just have like a picture of of what I used to make. I made this green pencil pouch, and it was like about this big, and it had a cover, but it had an eyeball on it, so it looked like a little monster. And so when you opened the top, it had like a mouth on there and a zipper, and it had, I think I just put legs on it on the bottom. So it looked like a little monster that you just carry a monster pouch with you. That was for a raid train that I signed up for, and I was like, I have to make this really quickly. And it was something because I also had to line the little pouch because I didn't want anything to fall out. And I do have a picture of it somewhere that I guess I can. I think it's on my phone actually. My phone was updating itself and it's been charging, so um but I'll show you one time. It was cute because it looked like Mike from Monsters Inc., but in like a pencil pouch size. It's about that big. It was pretty big, but I had to figure out how to line it, so I was learning how to do that. So that year was I had a couple of things that I made with fabric inside. I was gonna bring that one too. I like recently I made another bag with some lining in it, the fabric lining, and it was like a granny square, and it was like maybe about this big with a small handle for a friend's, a whatnot friend's daughter's birthday. Um, it was Evie's birthday. I think it was last week, or the 8th or so. Um, this like the weeks have been so long recently. And then I think I had a show last week for her birthday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, it might have been Saturday. So I was like, I want to make something for her, and so I made a bag. And the fact that I had to line it, that was something extra that I had to like sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna do this. If not, then I have no. It's something different for me to sew. So I like hand sewed the sides, and then I hand sewed around the opening. So that took a little time, but I did it yesterday, and so it's done. I'm gonna send it to her. But yeah, things like that. Handmade is so like, if sometimes it's so sentimental that you make something for somebody. Sometimes it's for a reason. I don't know, when I along a while ago I made these crochet stockings ornaments. Um, I made a few of them a long time ago, and I was like, these are cute. You could put, a little candy in there and put it on the tree. You could put a candy cane in there, and I took pictures of it with a candy cane. But then I thought, oh, maybe this is a good idea for a baby, like first Christmas, you have the little stocking. And then I had another idea of like, oh, this could be kind of like in memory of a child lost. Also, so they can be used that way. So I was thinking of all the ways that something handmade can be, sentimental to somebody. So anything handmade is, just think about how the thing that you make with your hand can impact somebody's life. Like you make something for a friend, or you make something that somebody will purchase that will give to somebody else. Let me see. Oh yeah, those take a long time too. I've made a few baby items, and it's like, yeah, if you're getting a baby item from me, then that means I care about you. If I'm making something for you and it in the fit that you want, because we always think about that too. Miss Carmen, I made some hats for her, and I was like, measure your head, let me make sure how it fits. I want to make sure that I make it right so it fits properly. And like that's the thing with customization. You have to get the size correct. If not, it's gonna be weird. I made a like a baby hat and a cocoon combo with little booties for a friend that asked for a Sailor Moon themed. So I think I found a basic pattern, and then I added like the little cat ears on the hat and the moon shape for the cat, Sailor Moon cat. And when she showed me the picture of the baby, by the time I finished it, the baby was a little too big. So I think the the cocoon was too big, too small, or the beanie was too small. It was kind of like, and in my head, I'm just like, no, I should have told me. I could have made it a little bigger. Just like that. Like, especially babies, they grow so quickly. And it's like, it took a little time to make a blanket, about this big for a little, like, for the stroller, but by the time I give it to you, the baby's going to be twice its size. So things like that, they take time. But I feel like you need to make the time, like, figure out what size would be the best size. By the time I finish it, it will fit the child. Whew, I'm talking a lot. Yeah, just make it bigger than you think. Like make a toddler size for a newborn, and they'll eventually fit into it. Maybe after a year. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's about the same that I do. Um, yeah, it's nice when I can get the measurement so that I'm like, okay, this would fit you. Oh, yeah, I have two measuring tapes in my bag all the time, and I carry my bag of crochet to work, and sometimes I don't crochet, so I realized it was a comfort thing to carry my crochet bag with me in case I, have time to make something or work on something. I realized that was it's like a comfort blanket. Yes. Hey, somebody needs something. I'm gonna make it right now. Yeah. It's like, oh, you like this? I'll make one for you right now. Don't you know, by the end of the day, I'll have it ready for you. I haven't worn like my items at work yet because, well, also I live in Florida, so crochet in Florida is a little difficult. But like this week is gonna be cold, cooler, a little crisp air, so maybe I might wear a headband or something. Mama Steals and Steals. Oh, there you are. Hi, Mama Steals and Steals. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know. Some people kind of just jump in and then leave, but that's okay. So I might wear one of my ear warmers if it's too cold. So I might get some questions about it. I might wear the ear warmers that are in my profile picture, even though it's listed in my auction here. So I'll show you some of the things I have. I don't even have this bag. I have it in my inventory. Like I have this bag that I made. I have like all the information of all my items, and yes, it is a watermelon. Yeah, I'm glad you got it. I think it was like 2020, 2021 actually when I made this. And I think I starting to make this like circle bottom in green, and I was like, I think I'm gonna make this into a watermelon. So I did. I have the listing in the inventory, but I don't think I ever put it in my show. Let me see. I always have to remember to put them in sometimes because like sometimes I think, oh, maybe the bigger items won't sell. That's sometimes the case when I'm doing I'm trying to remember where I'm looking here. Okay, here I am. When I'm doing like raid trains, sometimes there's not enough time to do everything, so I tend to like leave my larger items out of that, or I just do like a inventory of themed things. Like coming up, there's Valentine's, so I'm working on some heart items. But like the bigger things that I have, sometimes they just don't sell, or maybe they think it's too much. I don't know. I might have to make another crochet flower tote bag that I made a while ago, and that was really nice. Sometimes when I remove a listing, I feel like it deletes it completely, so I think I gotta put them in again. Tote. Is it under tote? Nothing. Okay. I'm back here. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the tip. You don't have to do that. I appreciate you. You definitely don't. We just swap things. I feel like we swap things. You like this? Okay. I like this? Okay. Bartering is the best. I really we can share things that we like with one another. That's the fun thing. Did I label them under bags? I have my hot. There it is. I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I need to make these little. I used to make these little crossbody bags with like a little fringe on it, and I gotta add that. What was nice is that recently I had this little cotton lunch bag, little cotton bag that I made, and it finally sold, and I was happy. I was like, yay! It's been years. It was such a long time. Thank you so much for stopping in. And so I have this one. I don't know why. Let me see. I'm still looking for this other listing, but I do have this one. I put this one in. So you can see it. I think I like to see like some people's listings. Oh, I even have it on flash sale. Let me see how long it is. 20 minutes. Okay. There you go. If so you can click the picture and actually see the colors of it. I sometimes I need to see the full color. Sometimes you can't see everything that is on the screen sometimes. So like sometimes I have to lean back and especially because I have my phone is usually my top down camera on the table, so that definitely doesn't make enough space to show a larger bag like this. Now that I think about it, should I line this? I made the bottom like flat so it won't, so things shouldn't fall through the bottom, but there's holes in the side that things can fall out. I don't know if I would line this, or then I have to make a big circle and then a cylinder around, so it's a little more work. So if somebody really wants this, you can have it as is, or I can put some kind of liner in it. The other one is this big humongous retro stripe bag when retro stripe yarn was big in the 2020s, when everybody was online making. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know why it's rainbow. No, let me just type in retro. There we go. Rainbow Granny Square Market Bag. This one is definitely bigger. So I'm just showing these items just to, number one, to show like my show is moving around. I'm running flash sales. I'm showing things, so people can be interested in looking at what I'm showing. Things like that. You want to keep your show moving around a little bit. I'm still looking for the listing. That's why. Okay, so like for example, let me pin that one. See, so I have this. I pin it, and it's in my bucket here. This is another bag that I made, and this is the higher price ones, of course. So it can fit a small child, almost, or a small dog in here. But it's you make this square on the bottom, the granny square shape, and then you increase as much as you want, and then you just continue around and around. And this is um, Red Heart Retro Stripe yarn. They got some other stripe yarn now because, like, I think around 2020 or 2021 they were selling this type of yarn. It was the hot pink and the orange. Um, they were selling these like hotcakes, and they ran out. Like they discontinued it, and I think they discontinued it. They didn't make any more. They made some similar, and I think recently I bought like a 4-pack of something similar to this like retro stripe, but it might be a little darker than this color. Hi, Wonder Woman. Good to see you. I'm just talking about crochet and selling. Pretty much. Oh, thank you so much for your purchase and the bin. Yes, I have a variety. So if you want the chai, I have chai, but then I also have green tea also. I should make my list another listing with the green tea, but I have chai like, and so I'll put 2 of these, and I throw some stickers in there. Yes, I will give that to you. Yeah, because I have the peach, but I have all my little boxes here. I got a variety of green teas. See these green teas? I don't know why it's the Bigelow. I had a bunch of these, and you can do that kind of variety of things in your bin. If you have a bunch of little things, you can sell them in your bin for a low price like that. Keep everything moving around. Look at this one. I have this other flash sale here. And I have this like pumpkin stickers for a long time, so gotta keep moving things along there. Yeah, I think there's maybe some booksellers and some handmade sellers. They do this just tea bags. We'll send you some stickers with the tea bags too. I'd like to put a little more. What was this flash sale? Oh, this is the pumpkin. I need to edit the listing here. Yeah, so if you have there was a time that I did, I think it was a giveaway even for a bag of tea. So like I had a local tea shop. They were giving away little samples of tea. And maybe it was like 2 ounces, so like 3 ounces, enough to make a little pot of tea. And I had a few of the bags, and I did one as a giveaway, and I think I sold another one. So that was a neat thing that like you can find either locally or share something that you like. If you like a certain coffee or something, you can always make a little bundle. Because I would love like that kind of thing. If I see somebody that's selling like a little bag of something, tea or coffee, or like, I always like to buy that kind of thing. It's like a warm, a warm hug. So, yeah. Yes, it does. Me too. Snuggle up with a cup of tea and crochet. Definitely. Let's see. Oh, I'm glad everybody stopped in. We've just been talking a lot about different things. So, like, trying to mix different items in my show, like the books. I did a lot of book shows just separately with craft books. Crafting books, for example, like for some reason my like a local thrift store, I had some polymer clay books, like how to make jewelry, how to make do some scrapbooking ideas, things like that. And I was like, oh, this is great, and I love that stuff myself. I want to keep the books, but at the same time, I could share it with somebody, and that gave me a good amount of sales. And I haven't found another like amount of craft books like that. Yeah, but that's the thing I like anything crafty, any craft kits that makes me want to try things. Um, I still have a felting kit somewhere in here where you make a little, like a little mouse or a little bunny. I have to look at that and see how it works. But I like to share those kind of kits, crochet kits. That'll get somebody interested. Like at the thrift store specifically, I found this. I don't think I have a listing for this one, but because it's kind of an off, kind of, I think it's like a Temu one though, but it's still a good, like these kind of kits that come with the crochet hook and some yarn, and this is an instruction on how to make these little donuts here. And it has some little the little eyes and the little stitch markers. So like if you write your own patterns, even you can make a kit and share it with them. You know, you can print out your instructions, you can give them the ounces of yarn and even a crochet hook and whatever little pieces they need, and there's a kit, and it can be sold for even $8 to $10 or more depending on like the complexity of your kit. So things like that are really cool. I've seen a lot of crochet and knit people make kits, and I've seen some make their own yarn. I think it's CM Studios that they would wind their yarn, like two thinner yarns, make it to like a worsted weight yarn, and it's a combination of two different colors, and they'll make their own little yarn cake, and then they'll sell those. So that's neat. It's a better, I think, if you have yarn that you're not sure of what it is, and if you like put them all together in a bundle, it makes it more interesting to purchase. So yeah, it's cool because you can make something new out of it, and then it can turn into like chunky yarn, and then a lot of people have preferred chunky yarn lately. I've seen a lot of the Whatnot shows, they sell a lot of the chunky yarn because they're quick to make beanies or the big jackets and stuff. I have, let's see, there's, let me take a look. I see your question here. Cridop. I have some crochet, yeah. Let me see what I got. In here I have a baby crochet, or let's see. So I have, let me grab those so I can have them right in front of me here. Stamping. That was somebody wanted that one. Creative stamping, paracord, painting. This is the baby one. This is the just saw another crochet book here, and then there's this one. That was the other one. I don't know if I have that one listed. So right now I have a few. Yeah, I know that's the thing with the beginner's book, and that's, I guess, a good thing to have. If I find a beginner's book, then that's the better thing. So with what I grab now is so I have this. I don't think I have a listing for this one. This is the amigurumi. It's backwards. This is a knitting amigurumi. And it says fun and friendly animals. So they would give the instructions on how to knit these, which I think with knitting it might be pretty easy. I haven't tried it. The ones I do have, the one that I pinned, this is a baby crochet, which might be, if you're interested in this. Yes, they all have instructions and photos. Let me show you some of these. I'm just opening a page here. So they have like the written instructions. They have some photos of how to like sew on the petal. They have, well, some of these are, oh, they have, this is a good detailed photo here. Kind of like what it would look like. It says, oh, from post treble crochet. That's a pretty big, a little more intermediate, I think. But look at this, look at the picture though. This baby one is so cute. I want one of those now. But yeah, they usually have all the written instructions and what type of hook you would use, what type of yarn. This, the way I learned how to crochet is written instruction. A lot of the websites. Yeah. This other book I have, like, oh, this other one is a Simply Sweet Crochet, and it's for some reason I have a baby and a younger children book. This is also styles of beanies and like ear warmers, little bow tie, bow headbands, and little flower things. So I don't know if you're interested in that. Yes, I can. Let me see. I think I only had the baby one here, but I can make a separate listing here. Let's not knock the books away. First, let me weigh it. I'm going to do these two crochet. Is that right? This baby book and the Simply Sweet. I do need, it'd be a good idea to get like more books. Oh, 3. Okay. So you want the amigurumi too with the knitting? Thank you. Yes. After I put that little book on there, it must be like 1.5 pounds, really. 31 and 35, maybe 36. Okay, let me make a listing here for you. And this is under books here. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for stopping in and asking. That's the best way to go. when you ask, pretty much ask and you will receive, you know. And I had these books for a while, and I'm glad that you'll be able to use them. And I will keep looking for more because, let's see, I had that for 6, and I think I also had, so about the price, let's see, I had this for 6, and I think this one was also maybe for 6, and this is a small book, really. And this is $8.95, but I think I even got this for like $3. Is 13 good for you for these 3? I hope this is like enough information. Yes, okay. You know how we can give you enough information for learning And if you have any questions about something, you can send me a message, take a picture of the question. That's what's nice about Handmade. We can do all that. 16, 20. Let's see. Hold on just a minute. Okay. It's going to be like a pretty big, heavy. um, it can be, I can put it either in the buy now or in the auction. So that's things like that. When you bundle something, I can either run it or I can say, this is for you. You can put somebody's name on the listing too. So I can pin it, like I put it in the auction. I'm gonna run it for 10 seconds. Okay, there we go. And this is for these three. So if you want to take a picture of it too, I'm gonna do it like this. So if you want to take a picture of all these three, just so that you can have that for reference. This is a baby book. I'll send these out for you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I can look for more books because it's definitely a good idea to have the basic beginner books. So I will keep an eye out for some of the super basic because initially, I think also when I started, I sold crochet magazines, which is like, from the 1990s, which usually have like the basic instructions in there, but they're also written. I do have one. Oh. The one I have is, oh, this is something else. But like, I also have cross stitch, so things like that. They usually have the basic instructions in the back. Yes, and actually, I think in the beginning, I sold a lot of those crochet magazines. So much that I was running out of, and I started like looking at different shows and grabbing those as well. So I have some doily instruction books that I want to look through and see what's interesting to me, because those are also a big thing. Like the vintage category, they sell the big Afghans, the doilies, to make like what's it called? Vignettes, where you can put a doily and some like decorative things and you can put it on your table, things like that. They like that. So like cross stitching and needle point. Somebody else was talking about needle point. I think somebody purchased a little kind of like a brooch or something that was either needlepoint or cross stitch. And if you have that knowledge or skill to do the little cross stitch, make one of those. Make a bunch of those little things. Those are small, tiny things that you can make, in a little time, and those sell pretty good. So, yes, we have a couple of friends here that also do beaded jewelry. I've seen, polymer clay. They make their own beads, and they'll make the jewelry that way too. A huge collection for my mother. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's also difficult too. I think I have some knitted things for my mom. She passed away 6 years ago. Maybe this year is going to be 7, mid-June. But yeah, that's things like that. Like I don't want to get rid of. But I think about when I find the things in the thrift store, like how much time and effort somebody, they took their time to make these things. And hopefully you find somebody that will enjoy it the same. Or even with crafting, the junk journal, community here is also, they're great people. Just repurposing or making new things out of old things, recycling, and taking doilies like that. You can, and then they add it to the journals. You can kind of make your own little sentimental journal with things that you save from your mom, like my mom. I love buttons too, and using buttons on junk journaling. It's just really cool to see all that you can make with scraps. It's so much fun. There's so much that I don't have time. I want to make all the things, but I don't have time. That's why I kept focusing on crochet this past year, because like I want to make all the things. I always want to make the things, but there's not enough time. All right. So if anybody has any last requests, I'm ready to stop. I'm ready to end right now. But I want to find somebody else to see what they're doing. I'm always looking for like a handmade seller. And oh, that's so nice. Yeah. And if you ever do, demo shows, like if you do live painting and crocheting, that's fine too. But specifically painting, I don't know why, just like it's really cool just to watch somebody make something. So if you're working on something and just, jump on a live and either, let me know, send me like the link or something, and I can jump in with you if you need somebody to talk to, because sometimes you just need to work on something and talk and just talk to someone. Yeah. That's how we do it. That's how we work with Handmade. Let's see. There's Amberlicious. Yep. So there's another crochet artist. And she also makes wax candles. So she's got a good amount of things that she sells, and has seller shows too with some friends, and she's really good. I'm going to throw this show over. And so thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me for this hour. Ooh, that was good. That was a good hour. I didn't know what I was planning to do, so I really enjoyed this time with all of you. And thank you so much for all the conversation. Yes, and yeah, let me know if anybody's doing a demo show or, any regular show. Thank you, Teresa, by the way. I always appreciate you sending me the shows for Carmen and for you, just to let you know, because like today I was so busy, and I know you sent me the show, but I wanted to let you know that I appreciate it every time. Just because I know you're there. So tomorrow I have a dentist appointment and then another meeting, but after that I will see if I can jump on, your shows. Okay, Amber, thank you again, everybody. Have a good night.